Once upon a time, in the sun-kissed western hills of young Sherlin, there lived a radiant young woman whose beauty captivated every heart in her village. Oh, how the men vied for her affection, each one dreaming of winning her hand, yet her heart yearned for something deeper, a true soulmate who would ignite her soul with a love like no other. With unwavering resolve, she turned down every marriage proposal, holding fast to her dream. She lived with her parents, humble farmers, who toiled tirelessly under the golden sun, their hands calloused, but their spirits warm. Wealth eluded them, but their love for each other was boundless. Every day she joined her family in the fields, sometimes working side by side with her younger siblings, their laughter echoing through the rows of crops. Little did she know a mysterious presence was watching her, a giant snake shimmering with magical powers, its eyes glinting with secrets untold. One glorious afternoon, when the sky was painted with hues of blue and gold, she found herself alone in the fields, the breeze whispering through the tall stalks. Seizing the moment, the snake wove its magic and transformed into a strikingly handsome young man, his smile as warm as the sunlight. Can you imagine her surprise when he approached, offering to help with her work? His charm was undeniable, and soon they were chatting like old friends, their hands moving in rhythm as they tended the crops. On days when she worked alone, or with her giggling younger siblings, he appeared without fail, his presence a quiet comfort. As they toiled together under the vast sky, their friendship deepened, blossoming into a love so profound it seemed to make the very earth sing. But oh, the mystery! The snake, ever patient, held back from proposing, as if waiting for the stars to align. Seasons turned, and with each passing year, the fields yielded harvests, so bountiful they seemed blessed by the heavens. Thanks to the snake's hidden magic, the crops flourished beyond imagination. The family's baskets overflowed with grains and produce so much that they could barely carry it all home. Year after year, their yields grew, transforming their humble farm into a marvel of abundance. What was once a struggling household now brimmed with wealth from selling their crops at the bustling village market. The villagers, wide-eyed with wonder, whispered among themselves. How could this be the family once overlooked now commanded respect, their newfound prosperity, a puzzle that sparked endless chatter? Neighbors tipped their hats, and curious glances followed the family wherever they went. The snake, oh so cunning and clever, never asked for a single thing in return for his aid. His heart was set on a grander prize, and he bided his time with the patience of a predator. The young woman, sweet and trusting, had no inkling of his true nature. To her, he was simply the dashing stranger who made her heart race. Who was this man who appeared like a gift from the winds? Where did he come from with his easy smile and mysterious air? She sensed he wasn't from her village, and the enigma of his presence only deepened her fascination. Her curiosity burned brighter with every encounter, her thoughts swirling with questions. One bright afternoon, as the sun bathed the fields in a golden glow, she could hold back no longer. With her heart pounding like a drum, she turned to him, her voice trembling with excitement. "What's your name?" she blurted, her eyes searching his. He flashed a knowing smile, his gaze warm yet elusive. "You'll know in due time, my dear. For now, it's not important," he replied, his voice smooth as honey. "But where are you from?" She pressed her cheeks, flushing with anticipation. He paused, his eyes glinting with a hint of mischief. "I'm an orphan from the East," he said softly, his words vague yet tantalizing. His cryptic answers only fueled her longing to unravel the mystery of this man who had stolen her heart. As they worked side by side, their laughter mingled with the rustling crops, and the air buzzed with unspoken questions. Could he feel the same spark she did? Was this love destined to change her life forever? Years passed, and their bond grew unbreakable, woven through countless sunlit days and quiet moments in the fields. Yet whispers of doubt began to stir among her parents. Who was this stranger who appeared only when they weren't around? Her younger siblings, with their wide-eyed tales, couldn't stop talking about the handsome man who helped in the fields. The family's fortune had skyrocketed, leaving the villagers in awe. How had this modest family amassed such wealth in mere years? The murmurs grew louder, the villagers' curious stares more pointed as they pondered the secret behind this miraculous turn of fate. The young woman, caught up in her love, barely noticed the whispers, her heart too full of dreams of him. One radiant summer day, the snake still cloaked as the handsome young man knew the time had come. His plan was ready to unfold, and his heart beat with purpose. The girl's family now stood tall in the village, their wealth and status secure, all thanks to his silent magic. Confident and certain, he took her hand under the endless blue sky and spoke words that made her heart soar. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his voice rich with emotion. Oh, the joy that flooded her soul. Yes, she cried, her eyes sparkling with tears of happiness. Her parents, grateful for the stranger's role in their prosperity, welcomed him with open arms, eager to call him their son-in-law. The village buzzed with excitement as plans for a grand wedding began, the couple radiant with dreams of a future together. Little did she know the man she loved held a secret that could shake the very foundations of their love. But for now, under the golden sun, their hearts were entwined, ready to step into a new chapter of life in Ljungskyrland. On the chosen day, under a sky as blue as a summer lake, the girl's parents and relatives trekked to the field, their arms laden with baskets brimming with savory meats and jugs of frothy rice beer. Oh, what a feast they planned when they arrived there. He stood, the young man, dressed in garments so fine they seemed spun from starlight, his presence commanding yet warm. Hadn't he always been a mystery? He greeted them with a smile that melted their worries, presenting a majestic Mithun and a plump pig as gifts for the family. The villagers gasped such generosity, yet his identity remained cloaked in secrecy. "I hail from the east," he said smoothly, his voice rich with the flawless cadence of Ljungskr. "All will be revealed in time." A prince, perhaps a son of a powerful clan, the family's imaginations swirled, their curiosity burning brighter with every cryptic word. After a meal that filled the air with laughter and the clinking of cups, both parties settled beneath the rustling crops to discuss the marriage. The girl's family, ever grateful for the stranger's role in their prosperity, asked for no dowry. "Give what you feel is right," they said, their voices soft with gratitude. Could they ever repay the man who had turned their humble farm into a treasure trove? The date was set, the plans sealed with smiles, and they parted, hearts alight with anticipation for the union that would bind their families. Oh, how the village buzzed with excitement as the days drew closer. Back in the village, the young woman threw herself into preparations, her heart racing with dreams of her new life. Can you picture her folding her belongings with care, each item a step toward her future? Her family and neighbors showered her with gifts, colorful fabrics, woven baskets, and blessings whispered with tears of joy. On the appointed day, the entire village seemed to hum with celebration as they set out together, friends and family singing songs of love and hope. When they reached the field there, he was the young man now clad in the resplendent garb of a Ljungskr warrior. Oh, how he shone! His armor gleamed under the sun, his presence radiating strength and charm that left everyone breathless. The families greeted each other with warm embraces, settling down for a final feast that overflowed with merriment. Laughter danced through the air, and stories of the couple's love filled every heart. As the meal drew to a close, the young man stood, his eyes gleaming with purpose. With a flourish, he presented an array of gifts that left the crowd in awe. Shimmering ornaments, a proud Mithun, a sturdy cow, a robust pig, a majestic stag-tiger teeth that glinted fiercely, wild boar teeth, vibrant hornbill feathers, armlets carved from elephant tusk, a gleaming doa sharpened spear, tools for cultivating the land. How could one man offer such treasures? The family stood speechless, their eyes wide with wonder. "My relatives and friends brought these and left," he explained with a confident smile, as if it were the simplest thing in the world. But oh, the mystery deepened. Where were these friends? How had he managed this alone? As the sun dipped toward the horizon, painting the sky, in hues of amber and rose. The time for farewells arrived. The young man's voice grew solemn, his gaze piercing. "Do not look back until the sun has fully set," he warned, his words heavy with meaning. "If you do, you'll never see your daughter again. But if you heed my words, a light will shine in the distance, signaling our safe arrival. You may visit her every 3 years at this very spot." The family nodded, their hearts heavy, yet hopeful, and they parted ways. The newlyweds turned east, their steps light with dreams of a shared future, while the family began their journey home, the weight of his words lingering. But oh, the ache in the mother's heart. 3 years felt like an eternity to be parted from her daughter, her firstborn, her light. As they walked, her longing grew unbearable. Could she bear not seeing her child smile for so long? Against the warning, she stole a glance backward, just one fleeting look. What she saw tore a scream from her throat, her body crumpling to the ground. Her family rushed to her, splashing cold water on her face until her eyes fluttered open. "What happened?" they cried, their voices trembling with fear. With shaking hands, she pointed toward the fading figures in the distance. "They've turned into snakes," she gasped, her voice breaking with horror. The family froze, their hearts pounding, as the truth of the young man's magic unraveled before them, leaving them to wonder what mysteries lay ahead for their beloved daughter in the enchanted East. Horror that seized the villagers' hearts as they turned their eyes wide with disbelief to witness the unthinkable. The young couple, once radiant with love, had transformed into 2 colossal snakes, their scales glinting under the fading light as they slithered swiftly toward the east. A chilling voice echoed through the air, sharp and sorrowful, cutting through the stunned silence. "Because you broke your promise, you will never see her again." Can you imagine the anguish that gripped the parents and relatives, their beloved daughter, their shining star, now a giant serpent, forever bound to a mysterious snake who had won her heart? Tears streamed down their faces as grief overwhelmed them, their cries rising like a mournful song. How could they have let this happen? Yet, amidst their sorrow, their love for her held strong. They whispered heartfelt wishes for her happiness, knowing she had chosen to follow her heart. But oh, the pain of that final image seared into their souls. The massive snakes entwined in their love, gliding away with the sunrise vanishing forever from their lives. From that day, her laughter, her warmth, her presence were lost to them, leaving only an aching void. Generations passed the tale of the star-crossed lovers woven into the fabric of young Sherlin's lore until the years 1972 and 1973 brought a new chapter of tragedy. Workers from the Border Roads organization, toiling near the Yai River between the villages of Lasu and Secure on the road to Cree district, were digging beneath a massive stone when disaster struck. Can you picture the chaos? A bulldozer roared to life, unearthing not just earth, but 2 enormous snakes, a male and a female, alongside a writhing cluster of smaller serpents. The male and the others darted into the shadows, their escape swift and silent. But the female, oh, her bravery. She stood her ground, a fierce guardian protecting her kin. In that selfless act, the bulldozer's merciless blade crushed her, ending her life in an instant. The workers stood frozen, unaware of the ancient love story they had just shattered. Days later, a woman from a nearby village, renowned for her prophetic dreams, awoke trembling from a vision that chilled her to the bone. A giant male snake, cloaked as a young warrior, appeared to her, his eyes burning with sorrow and rage. "My beloved is gone," he mourned, his voice a haunting echo of loss. "Humans will pay for this," he vowed, his words dripping with vengeance. Can you feel the weight of his grief, the fury of a love torn apart? After that night, he vanished. No more dreams, no more sightings, as if the earth itself had swallowed his presence. Yet the villagers knew he was out there, his spirit lingering in the wild. Even now, locals speak in hushed tones of a strange, flickering light, dancing in the deep jungle, especially near the rocky cliffs that tower over the land. Could it be him? They believe it's the male giant snake, his radiant glow a testament to his enduring power. The villagers call him a spirit, a demon who defies death itself, warning each other to steer clear. Don't disturb him. They urge, their voices trembling with awe and fear. Those foolish enough to challenge him, they say, meet a fate too terrible to speak of. The memory of his love, intertwined with the sorrow of his loss, pulses through the hearts of the people. In the thick forests and atop the high cliffs of young Sherland, he roams a silent guardian of his tragic tale, his light a beacon of love and vengeance that will never fade.